On Chumash Wednesday. Okay, it's a short Chumash. Page 23. Ba'esi Amar Hashem Elai. At that time, Hashem said to me, Mrs. Right, Moshe is talking, he's recounting the story of the golden calf and the aftermath he speaks about now. At that time, God said to me, after God forgave you guys, carve for yourself 2 tablets of stone, like the first ones, and come up to me to the mountain, and make for yourself a wooden ark. Okay, Rashi. At that time, what's at that time? At the end of the 40 days. This is the end of the second 40-day period. God reconciled. And he said to me, carve out for yourself 2 tablets. And afterwards, he said, you should make for yourself an ark. I made the ark first. So God said, make the tablets, then make the ark. But Moshe flipped it around. He made the ark first, then the tablets. He said, if I have the tablets, where am I going to put them? My dining room table? What am I going to do with them? I got to make a holy ark. This is not the same ark that Bitzalel made for the Mishkan. Because the Mishkan wasn't even started to be built till after Yom Kippur, which is after the third 40-day period. We're just after the second 40-day period. And he proves it because after Moshe came down the third time, he told Bitzalel the day after Yom Kippur to make the Mishkan. And Bitzalel made the Mishkan first, then he made the Aron and Kalim. So comes the ark that we know, the ark of the Mishkan, is way later. And this is the ark, this one, the Moshe made, must be a different ark. So, we learned there's another ark.
2 arks.
There's the ark of the Mishkan, the B'Tsalem, and then there's the ark that Moshe made right away when he made the tablets, and that is the ark that ultimately went out with them to war. So the ark would go in front of them for war to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that the ark that B'Tzalel made never went out to war until way later in the times of Eli, who was a high priest, right before Samuel's mentor. Mm-hmm. In the days of Eli, it went out to war, and they took the Mishkan ark out, and it was captured, unfortunately.
What?
Okay. Base.
Were the tablets inside the ark?
I don't know. I have to look it up. I'm not so well versed in the...
That's my main issue, is that the carry the ark if it's empty. I don't know if that has a lot of meaning to me.
What's this question?
I don't know what your question is.
My question is, were the tablets inside both? Did they take out the tablets, put them in the ark for war, for milchama, or not?
I don't know.
I believe I learned that they took them out from the war and put them into the Mishkan. I believe so. And I believe
so, because that would be horrible. I cannot conceive of we giving up losing the tablets to the Philistines. I cannot conceive.
Well, first of all, the ark came back. It talks about in that the Philistines got so scared of it they gave it back. So it's bad that it was taken, but ultimately came back.
So if I learned it right and remember right, I said to myself and people, I said, how can they touch it? You can't even see it. Look at it. They said,
you're not allowed to even look at it. That's right.
Right. And they said, the rabbi said, you got to do what you got to do. But he's looking it up.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go on. I'm not sure. Let's go on. Chaf Beis. Uvesavera v'masa v'kivras atava. Atavera masa kivras atava. I know that's what I'm saying. Beis. Ve'achteva aluchos says I wrote, and God said, I shall then write on the tablets or chisel, etch, the same words, the commandments, that were on the first tablets that you broke. And you must place them in the ark. Says next verse, Gimel. I made an ark of acacia wood, And I carved out 2 tablets of stone. And I ascended the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. He wrote on the tablets the first inscription. The 10 commandments that God spoke to you in the mountain from the fire on the day of the gathering, and Hashem gave them to me. Okay. Hey. I then turned and descended the mountain. And I made the tablets in the ark that I made, and they remain there, as Hashem has commanded me. I turned this on the mountain, I put the ark, the tablets in the ark that I made, and they were there as God commanded me. Says Vav, Uvenei Yisrael Nosnu Meres Bnei Yaakam Eser. The children of Israel traveled forth from Be'erot to Be'erot Bnei Yaakon to Mosera. Sham Meis Aaron Be'karasham. There Aaron died by Yechayin Elazar Bnei Tachtav, and his son Elazar was nominated under him, was served under instead of him. Says Rashi, long Rashi here. It's not too long today, but it's a long Rashi now. Vav, Bnei Yisrael, Ubnei Yisrael, they traveled from Be'eros Bnei Yaakon to Mosera. Ma'in Yizalakan, in what way is this connected to here? What's the connection of the second tablets to the death of Aaron? Happened a long time apart. Why is it strung together in Moshe's recounting? Another thing, it's written, this is going to be written in the third person. All the verses are written in the second person. So why is it changing? So let's see. And also, furthermore, if you do the math of if you do the actual, you look at the map, did they go from this place called Be'erot Bnei Yaakon to Mosera? Wasn't the opposite? They went from Mosera back to Bnei Yaakon. As we see, they traveled. Mosera was an earlier stop, and Bnei Yaakon was next. But wait, there's more questions. It says Aaron died there. Here, right? Aaron died at Mosera. He died, we know, at Hor HaHor, the double mountain. And if you do a calculation, you'll see that's 8 stops away from the 8 stops in the subway line of the journey through the desert from Moserot to Harahar. And we know he died at Harahar, so it's far away. What's going on here? Rather, we must say this is another part of the rebuke Moshe is giving the Jews, recounting an episode that was a rebuke to them. What is that? This too you guys did. When Aaron died at Horahor at the end of 40 years, we know what happened, that the clouds of glory departed and left the Jews exposed. You were scared by the war of the king of Arad, and then you appointed a new leader to go back to Egypt. So this doesn't say it explicitly, but it's intimated. And the oral Torah is telling us that they actually freaked out when Aaron died. They made a new leader and they wanted to go back to Egypt. And out of all of them, many of them went back 8. They were actually going back 8 stops backwards. Ooh. Till this place, Bnei Yaakon. And they went from Bnei Yaakon to Mosera. That's why the real direction towards Israel was Mosera to Bnei Yaakon, but in the retreating way, it was Bnei Yaakon went back to Mosera. And then that's when Moshe sent the Levites to go to war to these rebels, and there was a big civil war, and they killed each other. Right. Some people died on both sides. Until the Levites won, they rerouted them back to go towards the land of Israel. And from there, they went from Mosera to Gudgoda, which is Chora Gudgod, And from Chorah Gudgad, they went to Yatvasa. So that explains why there's different accounts of the directions. It was a different story. And in Mosera, you made a big mourning about the death of Aaron that caused this whole thing. And it appeared to you as if he died there. So basically, they had gone backwards to Mosera. There was a big civil war. And the reason that started was Aaron died and the merit of the cloud's glory left. So they freaked out and they went backwards to Mosera. There was a big civil war. Many died. And at the end, they mourned Aaron there as if he died because his death, I don't know the timeline exactly. Because we know they mourned Aaron, I think, 90 days. But I wonder if this is like part of that or it's different. I'm not sure.
90 or 30?
Moshe was 30, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe 60. Moshe replaced, and the reason Moshe, so this is a story of rebuke of the Jews rebelling and going back to Egypt, which is not explicit in the verses, but it's hinted and it's unpacked in the oral Torah. Moshe also put this next to the rebuke of the the tablets being broken to tell you another important lesson, that the death of the righteous to God is as significant and sad as the day the tablets are broken.
Wow.
And to tell you another thing, that when they said, let us appoint a new leader, in order to separate themselves from God, was as hard for God as the day they made the golden calf.
Whoa. Why?
Yeah. Ches, Hashem es Shevet Halevi. On that day, after that instance of the golden calf, God separated and designated the tribe of Levi, Laseis es Aaron bris Hashem, to carry the ark of the covenant of God. La'amoid L'fnei Hashem l'shosei, to stand for Hashem and serve Him. L'varach Hashmai, to bless by His name. Adim is that to this very day. Says Rashi. At that time, now we're going back to the original subject. At that time, in the first year after you left Egypt, when you erred with the golden calf. So now he's going back and forth. There's the story of the golden calf. We skipped 40 years ahead to Aaron's death and the whole civil war. Now we're going back to the golden calf. So it says, you guys made a mistake, but it's the sons of Levi did not make a mistake. So Hashem separated them from you to now be the spiritual leaders. And the Torah, this verse is juxtaposed to the story of Bnei Yaakov to tell you that also there, by that civil war, that retreat, the Levites didn't make a mistake. They're on the right side of history.
Rabbi, this "use guys" things must come from your reading about Jewish gangsters.
Could be. I thought you was like Italian. No?
No, it's definitely the gangster stuff.
Okay.
Why was Aaron mourned more days than Moshe?
That's a separate topic elsewhere.
Okay.
He made peace between people.
No, I understand that, but Moshe did a lot in his time.
The people's prophet versus God's prophet. The people's prophet, they liked him better. I don't know.
It's okay.
We have to be Aaron and Moshe.
Amen.
So you have to be both. Lasei says Aaron to carry the ark, the Levites to carry the ark, to stand for God and to serve Him and to bless Him with His name. This is the Kohanim. This is the regular blessing of the Kohanim. Therefore, the tribe of Levi did not have a portion or a heritable possession together with their brethren. Hashem is his, God is Levite's inheritance. Like God spoke to him, saying, just as Hashem your God spoke concerning them. Therefore, Levi did not have a portion, for they were separated for the altar service and are thus not available to plow and to sow. That's why they don't have farming land, because they got to be in the temple by the altar. Hashem is their portion. Notel pras mizum melech. Well, if you said they're designated, why are you saying, man, the Torah isn't poetry? So for the most part. So why is it repeating itself? It's saying, God separated them to be in the ark, and God is their portion. Or you said they're servicing. When you say they work in the temple and they have no other property, then that means, I guess, they're God's, God's ministers. So why are you then saying again, God is their portion? It's very nice, very poetic, but what's it signifying? So Rashi says actually signifying something. It's signifying that they get a stipend from the king's house. They get all the tithes and the truma to support them. That's what it means. God is their portion. Meaning instead of making money from plowing the land and farming, and that being their portion is directly from God. God pays them via the tithes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is their compensation for not having the land.
And that golden fruit that we talked about.
Golden fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, golden fruit.
There's trees in the Beis Hamikdash that had golden fruit, and part of their parnasa was they took these.
Never heard that. Wow. Yeah.
I didn't either. I just learned it.
Yud. I stayed on the mountain like the first time. 40 days, 40 nights. Hashem said to me, Gam bapama, he also that time. But God listened to my prayers, and God did not, which destroy you after my prayers. Says Rashi, I stood on the mountain to receive the second tablets. Since Moshe had not specified above how long he stayed on the mountain, and the third time going up, he has to discuss it again and say it's 40 days, like the first time. As we said earlier, he was in there's 40 days. The first 40 days before the sin of the golden calf, the middle 40 days, and then the last 40 days. And the last 40 is like the first 40 days. It says Rashi compares it what? Just the first 40 days pre-sin was with divine favor. So to these were with divine favor. But the middle ones, God was upset, and Moshe was praying for their lives.
Forgiveness.
Yeah. Chumash?
Oh, yeah, it's up there. That golden fruit's in Gomorrah, by the way. I looked at it.
So Moshe is saying is that while the third day, this is in the Goraria, on the other hand, so you have 40-day periods. 40 day, they did nothing wrong, so there's divine favor. Moshe is just after 40 days getting the Torah. Then you have then they do the golden calf, and then Moshe goes up a second 40 days. Obviously,
that's for forgiveness. That
was before they were forgiven. God was angry at them for those 40 days. At the end of the 40 days, says God forgave them.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's another 30 days, the last 40 days, the third 40 days says, I was with divine favor to you. But also it says in the same verse that Moshe achieved forgiveness for them to not get destroyed. But I thought we took care of them the second 40 days. Why are you saying that at that time, which I think is talking about the third 40 days, God listened to me not to destroy you? I don't know. Didn't you take care of the second 40 days? So I'm going to see in here. In the Uzdain edition Chumash. Doesn't say anything. The way I understand it is made from the note here on page 27, footnote 44, that there was no divine anger, but they were not forgiven. There's a difference. They were not forgiven. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. Hashem said to me, arise, go travel for your people, and they will go and they'll enter the land, they'll take possession of the land. I swear to their fathers to give to them. Rashi.
Rabbi.
1 second. Hashem had said to me, even though Rashi says, even though you turned away from him and erred with the golden calf, he said, go lead the people onward.
Before you go any farther, can you repeat what you said? He didn't forgive, he did forgive.
To me, it's a little bit confusing because yesterday we talked about the story.
Just now you said he did forgive and he didn't forgive.
One second. So if I'm getting it right, here's what I'm going to go with. 40-day period 1. Hashem loves them, divine favor, no sin. After that, they sin the golden calf. God's angry. So then there's 40 days of Moshe begging for forgiveness. At the end of the second 40-day period, God wasn't angry anymore. But to say that God totally forgave them is not accurate. Mm-hmm. God then told him, make another two tablets and go up a third 40-day period, of which that process led to the end of that third day 40 period, which is Yom Kippur, where God forgave them. So there was no anger the third period, but you can't say they were totally forgiven.
Till Yom Kippur.
Till Yom Kippur, at the end of that, yes.
Shkach.